which means please don't say anything stupid. While we don't pimp this out to the whole world, it is the internet and we know how things work. I don't want to hear that you are saying things your grandmother wouldn't want you to say. And that's not the purpose of this place here. What the purpose is, though, is to really get in with the latest tools and tricks that are going on in AI. My name's Edmund Bogan. I'm a licensed realtor here in Boca Raton, Florida, with Douglas Elliman Real Estate. More than half of you are not with Douglas Elliman. So for those of you who are like, wait a minute, I'm with Compass or I'm with Sotheby's or I'm with you're more than welcome because this is about you and your career. I'm not put together by anyone other than myself. So I've had a few people you know, come to me, hey Ed, I'm thinking about leaving, whatever. Am I still welcome in the meeting? And they were whispering as if their kid had lice or something. Come on, it's not a big deal. Not a symptom of a disease. We're all here to kind of do stuff on our own. So AI in this, we do address this issue quite a bit. We've got Daniel. Daniel, want to just wave hi to everyone for those that could see. Daniel is my ever-present producer who's ready to take your questions and help you out whenever you want. Daniel, why don't you put some of the usual stuff into the chat? His email address is there. You want to get together with me. You have questions about other participants in here. Daniel is the man. And for the coaching clients, we went over a lot of this before. I do want to talk with you about the goals that you've actually set. Have you actually completed the prospecting that you said you were going to do? And if you're embarrassed in front of me, don't be. This is you and your life, and that's what we're trying to get into this. So first things first, who considers themselves a pretty good user of AI? Or if you don't consider yourself okay, Paula. I love picking on Paula. There's something fun about Paula. Paula, want to unmute yourself and just tell everyone who you are and where you are?
Good morning. I'm Paula Anaruma from Queens, New York.
The
And
Queen.
anytime I have a question in my mind in this business, which is often, I think of ChatGPT.
Okay.
So I'll, think of what to say to somebody in an email or something, and I just put it in chat. I'm trying to do more and more videos. It's a challenge. I'll put my script into chat, maybe big view first to, I do big view for the teleprompter and then put it in chat and see if it comes up with anything.
Okay.
It's just very helpful.
Tell everyone what Big View is.
Big view is a teleprompter. I think there might be a free and a paid platform, but if I'm doing a video and I have my cell phone right in front of me, I can read my script and my son goes, I know you're reading from the script, so you can speed it up, because New Yorkers talk so fast, so you can get it to your own um, speed kind of thing and your own, you feel comfortable with it. But as soon as I get in front of a camera, like now, I tend to forget what I want to say.
Me
I,
too. Believe me, we're both in the same boat. Don't worry about that. But just I'm going to stick with you throughout this meeting. Just with regard to the tools that you're actually using. A lot of people put the cart before the horse. They'll say, "Great, I need to get into AI because I need to because everyone's on AI." I like to take a different approach. I'd like you to start with the end in mind. What exactly are you trying to accomplish? Um, I could certainly go through the different ways that I make CMAs with AI, and I could do it much faster than most of you and more accurately than many of you. I could go through how we actually make advertisements and some of the visuals that you're actually seeing and what that means. But more than anything else, because I've learned that these things exist, I was prepared to change the way I was doing things. Um, Everything from the background that you see here to much of the video that you see of me. Anyone following me on social media? Right here, a couple of you. There's a new character I have named AI Ed. If you go and go to Instagram now and start following me, there's AI Ed. It's me, but it's not me. It was a scanned version of me, a cloned voice of me, and it's something that we're now cranking out about 5 videos a day with content that you want. So we're going to talk just a little bit about all this. How are we actually marrying what the public wants, how this is going to help you sell real estate, and how you're actually going to build your profile. By the way, there's something about you, and I say this at every meeting, that I can't compete with, that no one can compete with. There's something about you, a characteristic that you have that you could lean in on that could explode your business beyond what your competitors could catch up with. I love to give the example about how I lost a listing. I live in a gated community in Boca, and I lost the listing to a woman when I took the home seller out because I asked him if I could actually meet with him. He said, Ed, I don't think real estate's the type of thing that should be sold by men. My wife decides what we're going to buy. I think you're in the wrong profession. I think you're a better professional, but I think she's actually going to get it sold because women. And immediately now I got Dina on the team, and I've got Samantha on the team, and I've got Nicole on the team. What did you learn from that? If this guy feels that way, other people feel that way too. We need to actually see how we can marry what we do and how we do it with what we're trying to accomplish. So let's go into who else is using some AI before I go on with it. Mark Stepp. Mark, can you tell everyone who you are and where you are?
Yeah, so I've spent the last 34 years helping real estate agents with technology. I'm here as more of a fly on the wall to really assist any questions as well if you want. Um, Back in July, I teamed up with my son, and we have kind of reinvented CRM with AI in mind, and that's what we've been working on for the past 6 months, 7 months now.
Okay,
But everything that we have done, we've taught. We've got books on AI, and so just here's a resource for you guys.
great. Thank you. Okay, Livette, you got your hand up.
Yes, no, I was just raising my hand and saying that I also use AI.
Okay,
Just a lot of basic stuff. I use it for, of course, listing descriptions to for comp reports, so they look nice. And I've created a lot of letter templates, so that was a great help. So yeah, I'm just every day I'm trying to find creative ways to use AI.
great. Okay, so let's go into some of the fun stuff. Daniel, can you put up? You got the workbook, which I highly suggest all of you pull up. You could print it up, take it in the bathtub, work on it at night, talk about it with your friends. It'll be fun. Um, so we've got that. That's something that there's some great tools and resources in that. Also, Daniel, if you could put in the chat both of the special prompts that you had made up this morning. So we made up a whole series of other prompts, some very much related to real estate, some not. But we're going to talk about how to actually fold this in. Okay, so day in the life. I wake up in the morning and I say to myself, Self, what are we going to do to actually kind of get more bandwidth, get more knowledge, get more people understanding who I am and what we're actually doing? And we talk about things like, well, what kind of content can we put out there? So we take a look at, and I use multiple AIs, which we've talked about. Um, and the first things first, I'll go to ChatGPT as one of them, and I'll say, can you give me, now I have the paid version of ChatGPT. Some of you do not, some of you do, but it's got a search feature where, you could actually search the web and I could say, can you give me a, um, the latest real estate news in South Florida or Tulsa, Oklahoma, or wherever the heck you might be from. Now it's actually searching the web and it's talking about a Surfside redevelopment. Isn't that fantastic? So we've got market trends, foreign investment decline, and now I could actually take a look at all of this. One of the things about ChatGPT, and I'm going to go through this very quickly because I want you to all know this, for those of you, because I know all of you are actually on it. When you look at the page, you'll see on the upper side, upper right-hand side, there should be a little picture of you or icon or little circle there that you could click in and you could take a look at what goes on. This is all the guts of what plans ChatGPT. This is the settings. This is customizing your ChatGPT. The interesting thing about ChatGPT is that it memorizes stuff that you ask it to memorize. So if we take a look at the customize, actually, sorry, if we take a look at the, where are we? Okay. At the personalization, we can manage that and we could see that all these things I've asked ChatGPT to save. This also includes certain things about clients. This includes certain things about my standard operating procedure. It's got some personal things like expenses and things like that. Again, I've got a golden doodle named Coco. I've got to talk to somebody about somebody. I've got all this stuff in here. Now, why is that important? It's important because it's got context. Because now I could take this article about Surfside. I could take this thing and say, I just copied it, and I could say, based on what you already know about me, can you please write an article um, as if I wrote it about this. So great. It got me the news. It's got context of what I'm all about because I use this. It's the natural use of the AI. And now it's coming up with the story. Now, I highly suggest you guys read the story before you actually post it and put it out to the whole world. But the point that I've always made with all of this is you could repurpose content that you never even considered. So the first prompt of the day for many of you should be what's new in real estate in dot dot dot, whatever area, whatever really matters most to you. And this is obviously going on with what this means for the market. South Florida, you see it's now personalized. Uh, yeah, where are we going here? I think it would need to have a bit more of a plug for my team, but I'm not going to bother with that just now because, again, this is just a demo. If I wanted more of a plug, I could certainly do this. What I could do right now is say, can you please describe an image that I can put into another AI called Midjourney and make a photo to go along with this article. Don't make the photo yourself. Please just give me the description. Please, please make it photo realistic and give settings and photographic instruction. Okay, so now it's going to do this, and we're going to take the information from one AI, which it's actually describing right now. I'm going to take this in a second. And it's putting in things like a Rolls Royce or a Bentley, so it knows that we're really getting into the high-end stuff. Camera, wide angle shot, low angle perspective, lighting, warm and cinematic, depth of field. So it's giving all this stuff. And I'm going to take this. I'm going to highlight this prompt. So we're taking one piece of information from one AI, and we're putting it into another AI. This is Mid-Journey. You could take a look at it. Daniel, if you could just jot that down when we come off this screen, you could give everyone the QR code. So we actually go to Mid-Journey and go create. And now let's see what it actually comes up with. AI, you need to write this term down, is non-deterministic, meaning that when I could put this prompt in 1,000 times and the image is going to be a little bit different every time because it's pulling information from multiple areas. It also has its biases, but Midjourney, I think, is fantastic. I'm going to show you just what we do with this now to augment and grow our group. Okay, so now we've got a real image here. By the way, you do need to be careful. You don't want to promise everyone that this is a new, that this is the actual image itself, but we'll take a look at that. Now we have this actual image. What I would do with somebody like Daniel, who is working very hard on my weekly newsletter, is I'll take an image like this, and I would take the story and make sure that it doesn't cite that this is the actual property because it's not. And we could do something saying, look at what's coming up in South Florida, or we could create something like this. I just did an article. You could see it on my blog. Uh, Midjourney made this image for me. This is going from New York to Florida. It's not my favorite image, but you know what? Better done than waiting to get it done. And and so we actually created this. If anybody's who's unmuted, please mute yourself as you were talking. And this goes into my weekly email. Daniel will put this image of me in here. And then we actually have the article, which again was written by AI, and we did that whole cost comparison. So those were just two things that I actually did. Very little of me was put into this. It was mostly just prompting and getting AI to do that. I'm talking too much. I want to try and see, is this resonating with anyone, or am I losing you? Do we like it? Do we hate it? Do I suck? Am I happy? Am I sad? Talk to me, Goose. Okay, Dina gave me the thumbs up, but that's Dina. She's always nice to me.
The picture,
Oh, Paul gave me the thumbs up. Paul could be a real dick. I like that. Okay, thanks, Paul. I'm teasing. He's a great guy. Good friend there. Paul, I'm glad you made it. I'm going to give you a good plug. I was just kibitzing with you, just joking around here.
Hey, Ed.
Who,
Um,
oh,
it's
Mark,
Mark.
yes.
Yeah. And you may be going into this. I don't want to get ahead of you, but with the new tasks option, you could have it coming in and notifying you every morning about the news that's happening in your area. Just put in the prompt and let task send that message to you every morning.
Yes, thank you for that. We're getting to the next section here. I might as well bring it up. It's agentic. Write that down. I never even used the word before in my life. Agentic tools. It means it's an agent, not like a real estate agent like you, but it's an actual AI employee of yours. Now, this is important that you get this done psychologically because right now, until now, all of you are used to using ChatGPT and AI kind of the same way you use Google. You go, you do a search, you ask for that to help you improve something. You're leaving 95% of what it can do on the table. Because aside from prompting to get content, which you desperately need, and aside from repurposing that content, which I'm going to show you how to do, um, you could actually, this is now 2025 has been called the beginning of the agentic era. There's always someone in the meeting who talks about, well, I like taking pictures and I like calling people and I like doing it. I'm not here to say that whether it's moral or not. I'm here to say what the reality is. You're going to be royally fucked if you don't learn this stuff. Okay, I don't know how much more I could really put this in, but we're about to be run over by a locomotive of tools. What Mark was saying was that there are tasks in ChatGPT. Now, it's just the beginning of these tasks. It's just the beginning of what's going on. I'll quickly show you just what he was referring to. For those that are subscribed to ChatGPT, which I am, up here is where you actually do this. You see over here, it says GPT-4 with scheduled tasks. So you could actually put an actual task in here, and I could say something like, please search for somebody give me something. I don't want to just make it all personalized to me. If there's something that you want to, if you'd like an actual search to be conducted on your behalf or executed on your behalf, would there be anything that you could do, yeah, here, fine. Please search for,
I have an idea.
Townhouses
Terry,
in Park Slope that have been owned for 20 years or more.
please. Okay, but I wanted to do it on a regular basis. So tell me.
Oh, okay. Townhouses when they come on the market.
Okay, this isn't searching the MLS. So
I have an idea.
hold on
Thank you, John.
I'll get to you in 1 second. Townhouses in Brooklyn. Terry, help me out here.
That. Okay, so it's not MLS, so I got to readjust my thinking there. Uh, uh,
Be so
I don't know, Edmund.
Okay, hold on. Is Street Easy still a thing there?
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
Please search for townhouses in Brooklyn on streeteasy.com.
That
And
are $2 million and more.
that are $2 million. Actually, we'll just do greater than $2 million. And set this reminder for, we'll say 9:45 a.m. every day. I'm going to put it that way so that Terry, if you're still in the meeting at 9:45, it will email me what that is. So now it's actually setting up a task for me that's going to email that to me. One, okay, big deal. So it could actually send a task and do the thing. Why can't you actually go do it on your own? What this is the nucleus of is taking multiple steps. That's the agentic part of it, where now there are tools within AI that are just coming out now that will allow you to build upon this and be able to do everything. Like, for example, you can now go using the AI, you could actually go out and say, research hotels in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I keep saying Tulsa, or Yorba Linda, California. I'm trying to come, or Aspen, or wherever you might want to do. Find the hotels that are available on this particular date, and please give me the best 5 options. And it will actually go out and do that research for you at whatever time you want it to do that. And this stuff is actually becoming more and more available. It takes a little bit more time to set up, which we're going to do, but I do want to get through all this relatively quickly.
Ed, I have a quick question. Going back to
Sure.
your previous example, let's say we wanted to actually access the MLS data. Can you set up ChatGPT to sign in on your behalf, research the data, and summarize it?
Currently, no, but in a month, yes. In other words, this meeting is being done because God help me if I don't keep up with absolutely everything that's out there. I had somebody come and ask me some questions about this, and this is coming at you so fast. The changes are happening so quickly that I really feel the need to dive into this topic quite a bit because it just keeps coming up. For example, this meeting right now is being recorded, as I said. It's being recorded on an AI called Otter, which let me just show you. Where's Otter? Otter. Get it in a second. Here we go. So, no, that's not it. Where is it? Okay, here. No, that's not it. Okay, I got it somewhere in here. Okay, so this is the live meeting being recorded right now. And you could see that it's getting everything. Here we go. That I'm talking about. You see that? So it's getting everything that we're talking about. What I'm going to do at the end of this meeting is I'm going to get the highlights from this transcript and put it into another AI and give everybody a summary of what was going on. But more than that, I could actually make blog posts based on the content that you guys are talking about. So when you guys actually start talking about something, if I learn something new, we're going to actually, I've saved every single one of these meetings. I could literally write a marketing book based on the content that we've all described here in this meeting. Now, somebody asked me the question, what happens when the whole world is using it? Does content really matter at that point? It's a very good question because we have so much of the stuff that's actually coming at us. I don't know. What I do know is that the people who are using this now are winning. Let me just show you one other thing that you need to go back to that example that I was giving you before. We had the South Florida real estate news, but I'll get to you in 1 second. We did that article about here was the Midjourney prompt. So we have Midjourney make a prompt. Now I could also say, let's do some other things. Can you make a cold calling script for this property? And it will send itself off on its own and make a cold calling script for the Delmore, which is great. I could also say, can you make 3 Facebook posts with emojis about this, making sure to plug the Edmund Logan team. Okay, we've got to let this thing get through. So now they're giving the hook, they're giving the interest, they're giving this, they're giving all the stuff here. I'm actually going to stop it just because we want to get through here. Now I'm going to say, can you make 3 Facebook posts? It's using the same thing. We didn't write anything, guys. Okay, I'm embarrassed to say that I'm writing it. Let's just say we're curating it. That's probably the more appropriate term. Imagine waking up in a breathtaking ocean views in the Zaha Hadid design masterpiece where luxury meets architectural brilliance, starting at 15 million. This just a home, it's a statement, and blah, blah, blah. It goes on its way. And we could actually crank out more and more content. We know that we could create the image. We know that we could create the content, and you've got everything that was here. Somebody was asking a question a second ago.
I think you'd answered the question, Ed.
Okay,
Yeah, we're good. Thank you.
good.
Hey, Ed, one more.
Go ahead, Mark, please.
I'm sorry, I don't want to. For the question that was just asked about MLS, there's a new feature that it's not fully out yet, but they're still working through it, called Operator. Operator is the ability to go through and work on your behalf. You'll see screen things going on, happening. So it's as if you're at your screen, you're clicking on things, and at that point, MLS potentially could be able to get in there, do the things that it needs to do based off of learning how you operate MLS itself as well.
Okay. And that'll be operational when, Mark?
I've not seen an actual full release date on that. It's still in beta.
Again, it's coming at you like a ton of bricks. Operator is something that's very real. There are other things as well. Who's read the news about DeepSeek? Anyone read any news about DeepSeek? Okay. How many people remember I was talking about DeepSeek 8 months ago?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now it tanked the economy by $1 trillion, at least for a minute. I'm going to show all of you DeepSeek as well. It's currently free. Again, I say currently because I don't know what's going to happen here. This is DeepSeek. This is an AI out of China. What everyone has been talking about lately is this DeepSeek R1. R1 is something that's a direct competitor with ChatGPT's greatest AI tool. And what you're able to do with this is do some major research. I mean, it could go deep into things like, here, I'm about to geek out on you. Write a Python code. Okay, this is a computer language, which captures buyers at my open house. Now, there's a reason I'm geeking out on you here, and you can actually see the thought process that it's going through. Okay, the user wants Python code to capture buyers at their open house. So let me think about what features they might need. First, they probably need a way to collect the information. So you see this is actually iterating through its own memory. I like to show this all to you because I don't suspect most of you will become Python programmers, nor do I think you should. But I think to have a bit of an understanding of what's going on, now it's actually writing the Python code. You could take this code, put this into Python, which again, I will do that at the end and show all of you if you really want to stay beyond the hours here, and actually make an app which I could deploy. So everything, I took the challenge when the CEO of NVIDIA said, you're going to be able to just describe what you want and the AI will write the code. It's actually doing it, guys. I chose to start learning this. I study this a couple hours a day, so I'm starting to learn how to code myself. But it's only to be basically, again, the curator of software. Why do I show this to you? Because you're going to look at this and say, hey, you know what? I always want an app for fill in the blank. You have something in you that I don't have that you could probably make a fortune off of if you do it right. I'll give you another example with this. I curated an app. I won't say exactly what it does because I think all of you are going to love the idea. I showed it to my broker who said, you really ought to talk to Jay Parker, the CEO of Florida, at Douglas Elliman, Florida. He loved the idea. He said, if you make it out to California, you should meet it with the text guys. I met with them. They want the app. They want the app. It was something that my mother, rest her soul, she would be so proud. I'm a software engineer now. Okay, but the reality is if I could figure this stuff out, you can too. And why is that actually important? It's important just to have a basic understanding of how far you could really go with these tools. I'll go back to the beginning here. You need to stop and say to yourself, what do I want to accomplish? I could give you the tools that you could do to get from point A to point B. But to me, the reason for my success in my community is that constant bombardment of positive messaging that people want to see. And the AI thus far has been a phenomenal tool. We also have voice AIs. We also have musical AIs. I'm going to show you something called Suno, where you can make music. Mark was bringing up Operator. There's other agentic meaning other tools that are out there now that you're going to be able to utilize that we're utilizing to make more and more apps or to do some of the searching for you. This is just an overview at this point because I just think it's so important that you be prepared. Um, you're just you're going to start speaking to an AI and you're not going to realize that it's a robot that's actually calling you. Right now, it's pretty obvious, but it's going to be the point probably this year where you can hold a full conversation with something that's not human. And in order for you to get onto the coattails of this and to hopefully make money in this era as a realtor, otherwise we will be run over like a locomotive. You could say whatever you want to say about this. I'll get you in a second, John, I swear. You could say whatever you want to say about it's fair, it's not fair. Oh, I could tell that it's AI. Yes, you can. Now, today, be prepared. It's changing. Go ahead, John.
So,
Tell
quick
everyone who
question for
you are and
you.
where you are.
I'm very much.
John,
What's that?
tell everyone who you are and where you are.
Oh, hi guys. Good morning. My name is John Bainton, and I am a real estate agent in Lower Fairfield County, Connecticut. And I've been with founding agent of Compass, and I was at Douglas Elliman for many years. That's how I know Edmund.
It's great.
So, yeah, we've been good friends for a while. So,
Absolutely.
I am very, very much still a novice, even though I'm trying to learn as fast as Edmund. But a question for you, Edmund, can you, because obviously we all maintain, or some of us maybe maintain our own data, right? Where we keep Excel spreadsheets. I know I'm a dinosaur for doing that, but can we import our own like CSV files and Excel spreadsheets to use that as the data for the AI to do tasks?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's something, and again, you and Mark bring me from topic to topic here, which is fantastic. I'm going to show you two things right now that all of you should know. One, I guarantee even Mark hasn't heard of. I hope he doesn't heard of. We'll see about this here for a second. Mark, have you heard of Storm by Stanford? Okay, good. Got him there. This is Storm. This is by Stanford University. And Terry, we're going to create an article using Storm, but Terry Robeson, I want you to give me, we can only, the difference between this and all the other prompts that are out there, I can only put 20 words into this prompt to create an article. So Terry, thinking about Brooklyn or thinking about something that, it's supposed to be somewhat academic. So maybe it's about that estuary, or can you give me something that I could create an article about using Storm? Is Terry still there?
Yes,
I love putting him on the spot.
and you're doing it. Can create an article? No, 20 words. What was the original source of drinking water for Brooklyn?
What was the original source of drinking water in Brooklyn? Okay, let's see if this guy does this for us here.
And it's going to know Brooklyn, New York versus Brooklyn, Maine.
It's a good point. I didn't put that, and I just already put the generating your article. It may take 3 minutes. Now, what is the purpose? I am helping a friend who is a realtor in Brooklyn make a presentation. They always demand an answer before they give you this. That's why, again, this is extremely academic. Now, what I want you to see is just how much research this actually does. My daughter is a journalism major. I really wish she was not. She's a really smart kid, straight A student. And we're talking about okay, this is the research. Take a look at this. This is pulling up tons and tons and tons of articles. And with this, it's curating the perfect, it sees even more. It could get sometimes hundreds of articles, Terry, to get your article about drinking water. And give it another second here. It's going to take this. It also asks you to fill out a little survey at the end of it, which I always do because again, this is a university and they're trying to do this. Okay, finish collecting information. Now it's actually sorting through all of this. And that's why it's taking as long as it is. Sometimes, by the way, you could give a prompt into ChatGPT or any one of these things saying, please iterate or please go through the thought process 3 or 4 times, and it will come up with a different set of answers based on your directing it to think harder. It's a very interesting phenomenon Um, okay, it's writing the draft.
Evan, back to kind of like my other comment.
Okay.
Do you see or do you foresee AI being manipulated
Yes.
by marketing
Yes.
dollars? I mean, obviously, like I could say I'm going to give, ChatGPT my money to make sure I'm always coming up relevant as I feel like that's like the natural course for this to go.
It certainly
Revenue
is.
model.
And it certainly also has its biases, which I'll demonstrate as well. But first, let me go through Terry's article here. What was the original source of drinking water? Brooklyn's original drinking water sources date back to the early 1700s, when the area relied on groundwater due to Manhattan's inadequate clean water supply. So it gives a whole thing. But Terry, look at this.
Wow.
It really gave, and actually, this is a very short article for what it was. In response to the pressing issues, Brooklyn Common Council established the Committee on Water in July of 1851. I mean, Terry, this is good stuff for you, right?
This is really good because there was a reservoir before the Croton Reservoir, which supplies all of New York City with its water, was created. Brooklyn had its own reservoir, which has now been filled in right next to Prospect Park. And most people don't know that. There's talk of turning that into a skateboarding park. But to know the history of this really puts you as the person who knows the history of the city or the borough more than anybody else.
Absolutely. And what you could do now, all of you should expect this from me at this point. You could copy all of that information from Storm, go back to ChatGPT, which I said you're going to start spending $20 a month and not be cheap. You need to do it. And you're going to now put that in and saying, based upon what you know about me, please write a blog post using this content. And you're going to be the smartest agent out there. You're going to be the one delivering the stuff where all the competitors are not. Will they catch up with you? Yes, but you're going to be part of my mastermind, and we're going to get onto the next tool for you and the next tool for you and all this stuff that's actually going to help. Here's something that you could actually use today in your show of hands. Who's using Gmail? One, two, three, a few of
Yes,
you.
technically,
Okay,
yes.
so Gmail.
Just I'm using Gmail through Outlook as well, through the Outlook interface.
Okay.
So if that matters to anyone.
It may, but I didn't plan that in my script today. So let me think.
My Compass email is Gmail based. I know that.
Okay, so then you probably have seen this. If okay, I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller here. So this is this look for anyone who uses Gmail, this should look familiar. Right now, this has become available to everyone. You see it says help me write? Does anyone see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So I could say, oops, here we go. Here. So yeah, please write an email to my friend Terry that he needs to try Storm by Stanford University and that he can use it to make robust articles. I could even spell things wrong. And, I'm just, again, I don't know what I'm saying here, but I'm going to actually create this. And now, right within the window, Terry, I want to share something with you that I think you'd find useful. Have you heard about Storm by Stanford University? It's totally the blah, 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 blah. And now it's got this here. I could actually insert it there. Now I can, Terry, just ignore this when you get it. Article you might like. It even suggests that. And boom, I'm done with the email. So you could do that and create the stuff. Again, is it that somebody said this is the dumbing down of the world? You're right. It really is if you take it that way. Mary Josie, I still use Outlook too. Don't worry about it. This is if Gmail's got it, Microsoft is not going to be beat. Just think about it. They're not. You're going to get this in 5 minutes. This is all coming up. What I really, if you take anything from this meeting, is that this should be a giant wake up call to you to be able to use the stuff. Go ahead, Paul. You've got a lot of questions here.
Sorry, and this is maybe off topic, and just feel free to say we can deal with this another time.
Oh, I'm not shy.
ChatGPT has a voice prompt command on the paid version.
Yes.
My biggest issue, and forgive me, but this may be of use to everyone else on the panel, is keeping up with my tasks, keeping everything in one place, reminders, so on and so forth. I know those are CRM systems. Can you use ChatGPT to set up sort of a reminder virtual assistant where you can speak into it? I take a phone call, I think, and then the next phone call comes in. And sometimes, frankly, I just forget that what I need to do. Is ChatGPT, does it have a system, or can you set it up to act as your virtual assistant to keep your tasks lists updated, reminders, so on and so forth? Or do you want to, is that not part of today?
No, 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 no. It's absolutely part of today. Yeah, the answer is yes, but it's changing so rapidly that what you could get to, like the operator or the tasks,
Yeah.
we're going to look back in 2026. We're going to look back at the tasks. It's so basic, so rude. But what's emerging right now is, you and I could go out to lunch. You're going to have the chicken. I'm going to have the steak. We're both eating.
Okay.
Think about that with software right now. There is ChatGPT, there's Claude, there's DeepSeek, there's all these different tools that are out there right now. We're still using AI, but there's different ways of doing it. We're still using AI to handle tasks and to complete stuff. But what actually falls in, this is the big problem that I've got with Element, with Compass, probably with Sotheby's, I don't know. But they expect you to use their CRM. And again, sometimes you're not looking at it that way. So I use Follow Up Boss. Why? I like using Follow Up Boss. I like using my own tech. I like owning my own data. Follow Up Boss goes along with the way my brain works more than, again, it's just go back to the lunch or spicy food. I might like spicy food and Paul might like bland food. And if he does, he'd be wrong. Spicy food rocks. But that said, it really is various styles. Paul, we could have a separate meeting at some point if you want, showing how we could optimize your tasks. That's what I'm doing with people one-on-one in
No, thank you, Ed. Because what I'm finding is there's so much out there that sometimes our needs are pretty rudimentary and basic. And what you said resonates. It's how your brain thinks, right? You've got to customize this to how it works with your mind versus the other way around.
And today we could do that. Two more
Yeah.
tools I want to show you. We're going to go through this very quickly. I'm sorry, we're really going deep into the time here. This is Claude. This is by a company called Anthropic. This is another $20 a month. Again, I'm going to be very careful on how I spend your money, but Claude has something called projects. Now, Paul, you might find this pretty interesting. In the projects, I could put down mastermind, and every one of the mastermind transcripts has gone in here. You see this on the right-hand side?
Yep.
So I take the mastermind, I cut and paste it in here along with a prompt saying, please make a summary of this mastermind. And one of the things that I could write is based on what you know about me, about my mastermind, can you please write a stop it, Coco, my dog's here. Can you please write um a blog post about why agents should join my mastermind? Again, excuse the grammatical mistake there, but it will see past that. So now it's iterating through all this. It might even say I'm ruminating, I'm generating, he's thinking about it. And here it is, why join Rain Nation, the future of real estate? So it gives certain things like in today's rapidly evolving real estate landscape. I hate that. To me, that's just very AI sounding. So we're going to want to change that a little bit. But it's going to talk about some of the real things that we're doing with this continuous growth, community and support, how much it is, joining the revolution. So I can make changes or do whatever I want, but this is based upon what it knows about me. Okay, so what? Here's something you're going to, Paul, I got you in a second. Here's something you're going to love. Okay. I have another thing in here. I live at a place called St. Andrews Country Club. And St. Andrews 2024 comps. I did an actual data dump, and we could take a look at this. This is a data dump of all the sales that actually took place. It's even hard for you to see it there in St. Andrews. So now I could actually go here and say, I want to list my home, 17657 Foxborough Lane, in St. Andrews. It is 4,200 square feet. It is 4 bedrooms, 4.5 baths, 2-car garage, and the roof is 10 years old, has impact windows. To the non-Florida people, Sandy could appreciate this because he's in Florida. You know, we love impact windows in Florida. Um, please look up comps that coincide this home and write a CMA based on these comps. Now, you're gonna have to do this a couple times because we're not gonna just leave a CMA to this, but it's gonna go through what's in there. Let me analyze. It's taking some time. Okay, so it's showing Yorkshire Court, showing Fenwick Place, it's showing Scarsdale Way, it's showing all this stuff. I recommend having a detailed discussion. Okay, please write a detailed CMA, write it from me, Edmund Bogan, and give a plug about my team. And let's see what this thing actually comes up with. As a resident in one of the most, so here it's giving subject property, market analysis, it's given that. Market recommended list price, 3,195,000. You may or may not agree with that price, guys. And it gives my team members, Dina Ulrich, who's on this meeting right now, Samantha, Nicole. So it's giving all these different things that we could actually do. And as you go back and forth with the data, you can now give examples of what you want within your CMA. Kind of cool, right? A little bit? You guys like it just a little bit? Come on.
A quick question. In your experience, based on your past use, how accurate is the CMA?
It's wildly accurate. And there's definitely things that it's not going to, for example, and again, Sandy would know this pretty well. On the other side of the street, the houses abut the Florida Turnpike.
Yeah.
That's not good. We don't like that as much. There's nothing wrong with the houses. And to those houses' defense, the price has gone up because all the New Yorkers have come down and they're more used to the loud noise or whatever it is in the backyard. My house is worth several $100,000 more because of the side of the street. Sometimes the AI does not get that. But that's the point, that it's now you're moving faster than anything else. So we're actually, as a service for you, here's the commercial plug, creating a CMA a day for our clients and FedExing it out for you and doing that as an actual marketing service. So if anyone is interested in talking about that with me, please, please, please do let me know. Paula, you've been waiting so patiently. So I do appreciate it. What's going on?
Here's my question. Why use Claude for what you just did instead of Chat? What's the
Very
difference?
good question, because Claude has projects at this point. Chat is offering some of that now. There are things that it's coming up with.
It
And
has
like I
projects.
said, all these are going to be offering more and more tools that make them very, very similar. I know that it is. Mark, I'll get to you in a minute, but Dina, go ahead.
So with the projects, is that what allows you to do that data dump?
Yes.
Okay, and it's probably a whole other session.
Yes.
How do we create that data dump? Because, obviously, I would like to do that for my community. I also live in a lovely community where I would like to, farm my community. And I don't know how to create that data dump and put it in Claude and then use it to create those CMAs, which
Okay.
how to actually technically get that done.
So great. Let me give you just the step process and watch what we could do with AI here. Autopilot, please make note of this. This meeting's being recorded. I want to give this step process to Dina. One, we want to go to your MLS and import whatever data you have. That would be, you want to get, you live at Seven Bridges. You want to get all the properties in Seven Bridges. So you're going to pull that up from there. That's one. Two, when you have that raw data, you're going to go back over to Claude, and I could just show you where it is. And there's something called projects. And we could go into Stonebridge sold. And we could take a look here on the right-hand side. There's something called project knowledge. You could add the content. Okay. Oops. You could add, come on, Ed, what's going on here? Add content. Yeah, so you could add content from either uploading a Word file or a Excel file, or you could actually add text here and type in the actual text. So that's how it gets into the knowledge base. When I work with my coaching clients one-on-one, the meeting is recorded, I summarize it, and each one has their own project in Claude. So now I could look back on the meeting after a year with one of the coaching clients, and we've got a full breakdown of all the things that we've talked about in the AI. So we know what they've said in the past. We know where their strong parts are, where their hard parts are. I can now go through this as a coach and see what can I do to make their experience a little bit better. What's going to be on the agenda for the next coaching session? Does that answer your question, Dina, or do you need a little more? You're muted.
Yeah. I think so. I'm just, what do you actually?
And she froze. And she still froze. And wow, this is the most quiet I've ever seen her. She's on my team. I could fuck with her a little bit. Okay, Dina, when you come back, that would do this. How did you get the data in?
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead, Sandy. Want to introduce yourself to everyone first?
Hi, I'm Sandy Schwartz.
Like where it says add
Hold on,
content,
Dina.
right?
Hold on. Time. Okay, you were muted for the last minute, so I don't know what you were saying, Dina. Okay. You're having a technical issue. I want to move on here. We'll talk to you in a little bit. Sandy, go ahead.
Okay, I'm with One Sotheby's in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I specialize in waterfront. Our team is our waterfront experts.
Great.
I just moved into a community called Palm Air, and I would
Great.
like to canvas this whole community. So how do what do I ask? How do I get the data for that again?
Well, again, it depends upon your MLS. You would go into the MLS. How new is your community?
Oh, it's 1970.
Okay, good. So you could go into your MLS,
Mm-hmm.
whatever tool you're actually using, and then request from it all the historical data, let's say in the last year. I mean, what happened 5 years ago doesn't count.
Right.
So find out from that what was in there. When you get that data, you could then upload it into an AI, whether it would be, I mean, there's multiple tools and they're constantly changing. This meeting was more of an overview. Um, if you look back at this archive video, you could probably see what we were doing as well, and Daniel could send you a copy of that. But it really depends upon the first things first. You got to get the data out of the MLS. You got to get a data dump of every sale that was made in the last year. Second, we have a series of prompts. Daniel, can you put the prompts into the chat as well for everyone? And Lisa, I'm going to get you in a second. Got lots of questions here today.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Okay, so here, this is my gift to you, and I suggest you use it. These are some new prompts. Create a digital twin of me based on the following details. Now, this wasn't me, by the way. I stole this from someone else. A lot of that goes on, but it was something that you could actually, a lot of you might want a digital twin. Let me show you what I mean by digital twin. And we're going to have a special meeting just for the digital twins at some point. Okay. This is me. Ed, you should use this prompt only if you want to mimic the success of some of the greats. Imagine mimicking the success of somebody like Steve Jobs or Albert Einstein. Okay, so that's me, and this is not me.
Hey everyone, it's AI Ed. You ever found yourself at an airport unable to log on to Wi-Fi? Check this out. Okay, so first go to Google, then you can look up airport Wi-Fi passwords, click on the first thing that you see, and look how cool this is. You have a map of all these airports, and when you click on it, it gives you available Wi-Fi passwords. How is that possible? Great idea. Don't you think? Kind of neat. Okay. So that's why you should follow me, guys. I come up with great stuff for you. Lots of little gifts, little bites of morsels of stuff. But that's the point, that was not me. It's something that I could have Daniel or somebody else create
create that content. It's kind of scary because he could make me say shit that I don't want him, to say. I could talk about how I hate dogs, and I'm sitting here with my golden doodle. I love dogs. I like dogs more than I like people. Lisa, go ahead. Lisa Murray.
Sorry, I was muted.
Okay.
I'm finding that I'm using AI all the time for things that anything I think about. So last night I was sitting at happy hour having a glass of wine waiting for some people. I was early and I started playing around with it, and I've got it putting together, and this is in ChatGPT, putting together a drip campaign, and it spit out the whole drip campaign. Then I asked it to, could you add graphics? And it is now in the process of creating the campaign with graphics, and it's going to give me 3 different options for headers for the email, like an email banner with all my company branding and everything. And it's working on it, and it'll spit something out in 24 to 48 hours, and I'm kind of anxious to see what it gives me.
Okay. And the question?
Oh, question? No, it wasn't really a question. It was more
Okay,
a
no,
statement.
okay, good, good, good. No,
My question is in the chat. How do I get rid of my old picture that's in ChatGPT? I cannot find where that lives anywhere.
Okay. I stick around at the end. I'll show you that. I mean, there should be a little place to click. I know I've got it in here. And again, it's usually in the same spot, but I will get that. Paula, go ahead.
Okay.
So I have a client that I sold her house, and she's an old friend. So, I can do this with her. I need a review, and I'm going to get one from her and her husband. So I asked Chat to create a review with long-term tail keywords because it knows me. I have the paid version, blah, blah, blah. And it gave me 2 really good reviews. So I'm going to copy paste them and email them to her. I already told her I'm going to do this. And I said, would you please give me a review? I really need it. And let's see what she does. So that's just because I know that she'll go, oh, Paul is wonderful, and she sold my house. Thank you very much. That's not going to help me.
Sure.
So I want that review to be spot on for the neighborhood and my full name and all of that, because it will help me hopefully reach higher.
So here, jot this down. I won't put it into the chat just because of lack of time. But when you ask the AI, say that you want, write a review about me based on blah 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 blah, whatever you want to say. That you're very nice, and that you know Queens more than anything else, and that you work with your son, and that was so professional. If you're trying to write it for her, we've all done it.
Right.
Not a symptom of a disease. But this is very important that you put this in. Please write it so that it optimizes indexing in social media. In other words, it's going to give you things like that you want to use the word Queens, you want to use the word New York, you want to use realtor, you want to be able to use different things in that actual explanation. Because you're right, if somebody says, Paula's great, I really like her, my husband and I liked her, she's very, very nice, we got the house sold in no time and it was terrific, and all that sounds great. Never said Queens. It never said years of experience. It never said certain things that make you index higher in the on social media. 2 other things, guys. I mean, does everyone have a Google My Business page? You should. Maybe. Paul, do you have a Google My Business page?
I don't, Ed, but I should.
But you absolutely should. Let me go back to the videotape, as they used to say. So if you go to Google, and Google makes you jump through some hoops to create this, I could enter the words realtor near me. And look at this, Edmund Bogan comes up first. Now, you might say that this is from my computer, and you would be right. There are things that come up because it is from my computer, but I want to point out I'm not paying for this right now. And if you were in St. Andrew's Country Club with me right now and you Googled realtor near me, Sandy, try this where your community is. Everybody try this. Pull out your iPhone, type in realtor near me. Don't look at these guys who are paying for it. Look at these people who are indexing. Why? Why are they indexing so hard? How the hell do I get a piece of that? What can I do to earn some of that? Let me tell you, here's the trick. You don't make 444 East Palmetto Park Road your location, which is our Douglas Elliman office. I make my home my location. Now, for those of you who are scared of privacy and all that, then don't bother. Don't do it. There's many other things that we could do. But I'm in a gated community. I feel pretty good about my security here. I feel I'm pretty public anyway. So fine. You could Google realtor near me when you're in St. Andrews Country Club, and I come up, and that's great when I'm in listing appointments because I tell Terry or whoever, okay, Mr. or Mrs. Homeowner, pull out your iPhone, Google realtor near me. Okay, well, did you pay for that? No, I didn't. Well, what does that matter to me? What matters to you is the following. I am going to put the same skills that I have to getting myself out there to getting your property sold. I'm going to use the exact same techniques that I'm doing to get my name out on the very, very top for you. And it was free. Now, how did we do it? Daniel, who's here and works very, very hard, will review a business every single day under my account. In other words, he's not going to ask you for reviews, which would be great if he gave me one. But more importantly, I'm going to go to the new local restaurant in my account, or Daniel will do it, and he's all the way over in the Philippines. And he's going to write a review about, Roboli Pizza, which is in my neighborhood, or he's going to write a review about anything. We only give 5 stars. If I'm going to write the review, I don't need to throw a cow at anyone. That's not my problem. And Google will reward you by making you index higher in your given category. Bet you didn't know that. Google rewards you, where if you get 100 reviews of yourself in one day, Google will punish you. And Google will say you're probably stuffing the box here. But because they need content, because they need to get content out of you, this is something that you really need to consider. I will hold a special meeting, not a regular schedule, on how to start your own Google My Business page. There's a few steps to it. We're going to have it at a special time. We're probably going to do it at the end of this month. So if anyone's interested, please do let me know. If you are interested in coaching, I am keen to meet with you and tell you all about it. It's affordable, it's effective, it's going to change the trajectory of what you do. And if it sucks, you could just fire me. So it's one of those things that, I'm looking at this as something that we're not locking you into some year-long contract. My coaching clients like it very much. I blend coaching with actual marketing services where, for example, Daniel today has to go out and do skip tracing, get the data of someone's home. He's actually getting CMAs FedExed out on behalf of our clients. We're doing a whole suite of marketing services that are both affordable and effective. So if you're interested in learning more about that, please do talk to me. My goodness, it's 10:05. I'm so sorry. Wants, needs, and brags, or anything you want to say at this point. I don't want to keep you too late. Does anyone have any final thoughts or questions? Livette, then Paul, then Terry. Livette, go ahead.
I got a little bit of a brag. I had a listing appointment by phone last night. Well, it was Zoom actually.
Okay.
Last night. It was a prospect that home was listed 3 times previously by 2 different agents. So I was on the market for a total nearly 300 days. So I called her. I actually called her the last time, but she chose another agent. So when I called her this time, I didn't realize I had already spoke with her. And she goes, Livette, thank you for calling me. I was going to call you. And I was like, oh, okay. So we set an appointment that evening with her and her husband on Zoom. He wanted to look at my face. That's why we needed to do it on Zoom. But anyway, I, told him what my fee was, 4%, my
Good.
side. And he goes, well, we've interviewed 2 other agents. One of them was 1% and the other one was 2.5%. And I told him, I said, well, if you want to keep doing what you've been doing, then hire the discount agent. But with me, you're going to get, not only a PR person, you're getting aggressive marketing and tough negotiator, which it seems like you didn't have before. So I got the listing.
Mazel tov. Love it. Great stuff. You got the listing. God's delays are not God's denials. I want everyone to write that down. That's great, great stuff. And Livette, you persevered and you went out and you got the deal. And I'm very proud to hear that. I mean, it really is great stuff. Because even if it doesn't sell, and it will, even if it doesn't sell, you now have the ability to circle prospect. You now have the ability to market. The nucleus is the listing. That's why Sandy's trying so hard to get within his. Well, all of us need that. Making money is not a symptom of a disease, guys. Some of you act like it is. Making money is one of my three favorite things, aside from occasional sex and chocolate cake, and not in that order. Okay? And not in that order. So I just want to be very, very clear that it's great stuff. Okay, was it Paula next, or was it Paul? I forgot.
It's Paul.
Oh, go ahead,
Either
Paul.
way. Well, Ed, firstly, thank you for putting together. I won't keep you all long, but I've got both ChatGPT and Claude. Both come up with very different answers based on the same prompt, same questions. But I'll tell you what it's very useful for. I do a lot of commercial, and
Okay.
I'll sometimes get a lease agreement 60 pages long.
Yes.
Okay. It'll come back redlined. I just shove both versions into ChatGPT or Claude and say, compare both, and make sure both are identical. What not keeps me up at night, it's not really my purview, but I just want to make sure that the data and the document is identical. It's very good for large grunt work. It saves you hours.
Sure. It's great stuff.
Yeah, but you've just got what normally you don't think you can put into ChatGPT. 90% of the time you can put it in some shape, way, or form.
Look, you think someone's lying to you in a letter? Try this prompt. Take a critical look at this email, this letter, this writing, whatever it is. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being completely honest and 10 being a total lie, how would you rank this letter? I put some stuff, I won't say from who, you guys probably don't know anyway, but I put some stuff in there. It gave it a 9, and it gave all the reasons why it thought that this person, who a lot of people are depending upon, uh, is being evasive and being all the little legal tricks that are used to kind of hide it. I've got somebody else who I'm friends with. She's getting divorced. Every time she tries to write a letter, an email to her ex-husband or soon-to-be ex, you motherfucking, she goes on with all how terrible this guy is. And I said, do me a favor, put this into ChatGPT, explain to it that you're getting divorced, and ask it to make it more professional and take away any profanity. So instead of saying, you stupid motherfucker, it says something like, your comment does not make as much sense as it possibly could. It suddenly softens the whole story. You could do all sorts of stuff. You can make yourself sound like Yoda. I mean, you could do whatever you want, but you got to start with where you want to go. And I would argue that all of you have been doing it wrong. It's not bad. It's good news. You could fix it, and we could change the way we're doing it, but you've just looked at it and it's not your fault. You're so used to Google. You just go somewhere and get the answer. Paula, go ahead.
Yeah, quick question for you, Ed. Was it you that said if you review a business every day, it will bring you up higher on
That's
Google?
what we were saying with Google, Google My Business page.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Because I started doing that, and it's hard to come up with stuff every day, but you start to think about it, people you interact with every day, and if you give them, I only want to give 5-star reviews. I don't want to bash anybody like that either. But then it came up with like a local badge or some nonsense. I don't know what that's going to do for me, but to be continued.
Oh, so well, what it's saying is that you are rising up the levels. They like to reward you by showing, look, you are now a silver badge or whatever badge they put.
Right.
They're kind of encouraging you. Look, Google needs content. Facebook needs content. Every third thing you see on Facebook is an advertisement. Did you know that?
Yep.
That's why this stuff works. So if you're the great content provider that people are clicking on, they're going to elevate you. And the best way to become friends with someone, if you give me a great review, I'm going to like you. I've said this before. All of you should be starting, and this is the perfect time of year to do it, an internship program. It's very easy to do. You start an internship program, you find out who you know that needs summer interns, and then you reach out to the people who are contacts of yours that have college student kids that might need an internship. Then using AI, you could write all kinds of emails to both sides of it saying, look, I'm starting an internship program. I don't know if you're actually seeking summer interns. And you could reach out to a bunch of people. Mark, this is a great way to use the agent to actually continually reach out to businesses. Do you need a summer intern? And then the people that if you help my kid get an internship, it's better than paying me money. I don't know if any of you feel that way about your kids, but if you help me, I know Dina does. That's why we like each other so much. We have the same feelings about them. If you help my kids, I owe you one big time. Great way to get a listing. Just a thought. Okay, any other thoughts before we, Terry, go ahead. Boy, chatty group today.
Not one, but two new townhouses on the market in the south part of Park Slope. These houses were built in 1899 and 19, I forget. But you can, for end users, they're great. For developers, there's air rights that you can more than double the size of these properties. I don't even have pictures yet, and I'm already getting offers on it. So step up, let me know. And I'm done.
Put it into the chat or
Okay.
and put it on the Facebook page. That we've got a private members Facebook page. We'll
Yep.
put it on the website. We'll pimp it out to everyone. You should be calling one another. Let me just the Rain Nation map we have here. Where's the okay, I got this here. So you can take a look. I always like to show this at the end. Here's Aton. He's in Portugal. He couldn't join us today, but that's Aton. And we have different people. There's Paula. We love Paula. And there's Andrea. And we got Tammy in New Orleans. We got all sorts of people all over the country. If you're looking to get in touch with the different agents, we've got that on the map. And a lot of you just don't give me your stuff. I really wish you would by sending us Rafi and Aspen. So if you could just send an email to Daniel, always puts it in there, Daniel@boganhomes.com with your photograph and bio. We would love to do that. We also have, and you can see it behind me, the if you take your camera and scan that, you could be on our WhatsApp group. There's literally tons and tons of things that we're doing. If you're not subscribed, please do. It's only 30 bucks a month. And again, if you think I suck, you could drop out at any point. And for those of you that are interested in coaching/marketing services, we help people make money. So definitely reach out. Okay, any other points? Very good. Terry, are you ready?
I am so ready, Edmund.
And Daniel, do we have a mastermind on Friday?
Yes, sir.
We do. Okay. Topic, we're going to get that out a little bit later. We're giving our Californians a break. Deneen, I'm going to be in Los Angeles a week from Friday. I don't know if you have the time for lunch, but I'd love to be able to do that. A week from this Friday, I will be in LA. So if we could see each other, I'd love to.
Yeah, definitely.
Love to get together with any of my California peeps. That would be great stuff. Kenny, you too. I don't know if that's going to be.
Deneen gives great lunch. I can back that up.
Deneen's the greatest. I like Kenny. I like Deneen. I like my California crew. So let's catch up after this thing. Paul, I hope you still have time for me after this. Okay. So we got the meeting on Friday. We got this. Seeing all of you makes me look at you and say, it really was great having you here today. It sure is fun meeting all the time in these meetings. I hope you use my advice and really go out and make money with it. And I hope to see all of you on Friday at 12 noon for another exciting episode of
Rain Nation.
Hey, that's it.
Thank you, Ed.
Thanks, guys. This was a great
Thanks.
meeting. Definitely. Please, let's get together. That's for life. I'd love to see you all. And
Thanks.
Paula, I'm going to send you a link. Give me like 5 minutes, okay, Paula?
Thank you, Ed.
Paula?
See you later.
Yeah, Ed, take your time. I found out one of my clients died in Florida. I got to call her right now. Sorry.
Okay, 10 minutes then.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, take
Thanks,
care, guys.
Ed.
I'm going to give you a buzz.